Hello everyone. A lot can happen over cricket. Ajinkya Rahane and his team have shown us that. Young boys who were sent to Australia as replacements with little expectations have come back heroes. They have carried back with them not just a trophy, but a story of a lifetime. The story of a team that was battered and bruised and abused and yet held on. Held on to their courage, their caliber, and most importantly, held on to their character. It is not what they did, but how they did it. The story of the immortals on Debrief today. Let me start though with Mohammed Siraj, a 26-year-old who had tears rolling down his cheeks as the national anthem played at the Sydney cricket ground. Siraj lost his father, an auto driver, on November 20th. COVID protocols meant he could not come back home for his last rites. So his father didn't see his son's maiden test debut, didn't see his son claim 13 scalps in Australia, didn't see his son being celebrated across the world as he took 5 wickets in Gabba and helped his team annihilate the mighty Australians. His father was the first person Mohammed Siraj saw today when he landed back in Hyderabad. From the airport, he drove straight to his father's grave, offered red roses there, and tried very hard not to weep. These pictures, ladies and gentlemen, went viral. Everyone had seen the son's success, but no one had seen his father's struggles. Siraj made a brief comment to the media and left to be part with his family.
हाँ, मेरे लिए तो बहुत इमोशनल है। मतलब मैं टाइम पे भी नहीं था, तो मेरे लिए इमोशनल था। अब मैं आया, डायरेक्ट ग्रेवयार्ड गया, डैड के कब्र पे फूल चढ़ाया। इमोशनल टाइम था। जैसा मैं घर इंटरव्यू हुआ, मॉम रोने लग गई थी, बट मैं स्ट्रॉन्ग बन के उनको पॉजिटिव दिया।
For obvious reasons, the celebrations were quiet in Hyderabad, but in Roorkee, Palghar, Salem, Delhi, it was the homecoming of heroes. No, they hadn't won the World Cup, not yet at least, but they had given India a win that, cliche as it may sound, can only be called historic. A win that surpasses every single historical milestone in Indian cricket.
A cake to celebrate this sweet victory. Trumpets and roses for skipper Ajinkya Rahane as he reached home. The Wonder Boys are back after creating history down under. Quarantine robbed them of a rousing reception, but that did not dim the joy. Brisbane Test hero Rishabh Pant could not contain his excitement as he reached Delhi early morning.
I just want to make a name for myself and keep improving my cricket.
He wants to finish at this ball short.
19th January 2021 will go down as a historic day in Indian cricket, to be remembered in the same breath as the 1983 World Cup, the 2007 T20 trophy and the 2011 World Cup win. Conquering the Gabba meant not just a cricket win, it was a win against racial abuse, injuries and pressure against all odds.
This is the toughest tour ever. We are playing it in COVID times, in quarantine times, and with the multiple injuries you said. So nothing comes close to this.
Pink Test match.
It is said that on an overseas tour, it's the bowlers who win the matches. But sample this. Pace spearheads Ishant Sharma and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar didn't make it to the flight due to injury. Mohammad Shami broke his arm as India collapsed to a record low of 36 in Adelaide. Injury pushed Umesh Yadav and Jasprit Bumrah out of the series. Ravindra Jadeja and India's leading wicket taker till Sydney, Ravi Ashwin, were also ruled out. Australia had Mitchell Starc, Pat Cummins, Josh Hazlewood and Nathan Lyon at Brisbane with over 1,000 test wickets. India went in with a 5-bowler setup with 4 test matches and 11 wickets between them. And now look at the batting. India's most experienced player, skipper Virat Kohli, left after the first test on paternity leave. Brisbane was Rohit Sharma's second outing as an opener in an away test, while rookie opener Shubman Gill was playing his 3rd ever test.
He doesn't.
Chiteshwar Pujara was under the scanner for his inability to score quickly, while questions were being raised on Pant's future after a disappointing IPL. But when it came to the field, this team delivered in a professional and competent manner.
Laid the platform for this maverick.
No conversation about this victory can be complete without special mention of stand-in skipper Ajinkya Rahane. He slowly crafted the renaissance, transforming net bowlers and rookie batsmen into warriors, leading the team to one of the most magnificent victories in Indian cricketing history. With Rishi Sinha in New Delhi, Ayushman Jamwal.
The plunder down under came at the hands of rookies. Rishabh Pant, Washington Sundar, T. Nataraj, Mohammed Siraj. This was young India that came from small and big towns. Unafraid, unbreakable, unrelenting. A team that refused to be awed or cowed down by the reputation of the mighty Australians. Aruminima now profiling the rise of the rookies.
One or a boundary.
One down the leg side, they're going to bowl right down the leg side, it's not going to be easy. And it's gone back for the second, that's a four! What a surprise!
Roorkee, Palghar, Salem. Small towns of India which now have international recognition among cricket lovers, thanks to these boys. Rishabh Pant ensured Roorkee's first brush with cricketing fame when he steered India to the Under-19 World Cup win. But his India senior journey was a mix of heartbreaks and criticism. He had to fill big shoes, and the pressure was showing on the young Pant. The lockdown and lack of adequate facilities in Roorkee added to the pressure. But the fire Cummins, Lyon and company lit at Gabba ensured the Uttarakhand boy became a man in Brisbane.
My coach always tells me one thing, that you just keep doing your work and good things will happen.
Rishabh's under-19 teammate Washington Sundar too stood up to get counted when it mattered. The Salem boy made his debut as a bowler, but his knock of 62 in the decisive test frustrated the Aussie attack in the first innings.
And look at the kind of reception that he's getting.
What we saw in the match, that I've seen him throughout so many years of his cricket. So he always goes about the game with a good plan. He makes some sensible shots. So he plays according to the merit of the ball. So those are some technical things that he always focuses on.
If Pant and Sundar could finish the match and the series for India, it was because of the foundation laid by another teammate from their under-19 days. Shubham Gill delivered 91 crucial runs in the final test. His family would rue the century that he missed, but Gill has made the world sit up and take notice. It wasn't only the batters though who scripted history. Shardul Thakur, Mohammed Siraj, T. Natarajan all bent their back to secure a place in history. Palghar Express, Shardul Thakur, son of a farmer and a district-level cricketer. Thakur had travelled daily from Palghar to Mumbai, a 3-hour train journey for years, because Palghar training ground couldn't offer what Mumbai could. The perseverance paid off as the world's finest bowling attack took on him as a tail-ender. Siraj, son of an auto rickshaw driver who would give his cricketer's son 70 rupees as pocket money, 60 of which was spent just on fuel to reach the training ground in Hyderabad. Siraj lost his father on the eve of his debut, but didn't return to India. His 5-wicket haul in the second innings at Brisbane is the stuff dreams are made of. T. Natarajan, son of a power loom worker, came to Australia only as a net bowler. Within the space of 48 days, he had debuted for India in all 3 formats and delivered in each of them. The shadow of 36 all out, the regular captain on leave, senior players all battered and bruised. Everything went wrong for Team Rahane as they came to Gabba, a stadium they had not conquered for more than 3 decades. But taking the pitch at Brisbane were not cricketers who only look at history. These were young India players who now want to create history. With Raju Khatri, this is Arunima.
Rome, they say, wasn't built in a day, and neither was this army of immortals. Standing behind them quietly is the wall, Rahul Dravid. Rishabh Pant, Washington Sundar, Shardul Thakur, T. Nataraj, Mohammed Siraj, Shubham Gill all have trained under Dravid at the under-19 level. He built a bench strength that was ready when its time came.
Team India's magnificent performance down under was not scripted in a day. The man who's responsible for grooming most of the youngsters is none other than Rahul Dravid. He was hailed after the win, called the real architect of the series' success for building a great bench strength through India A. Rishabh Pant, Washington Sundar, Shardul Thakur, T. Natarajan, Mohammed Siraj, Shubman Gill all have trained under Dravid at the under-19 level. Even Captain Rahane has in the past attributed his success to Mr. Dependable. saying the former skipper reinforced his faith in his own game. It all started in 2015 when Dravid was tasked to coach India under-19 and India A cricket teams. Dravid slowly and steadily ushered in methods that brought long-term revolutionary changes in the junior teams and created a huge pool of top cricketing talent. As coach, Dravid didn't believe in following a fixed trend. He ensured a player played for India before getting a call for the national level. He focused on honouring basic cricketing skills. Equal focus and opportunity was given to each and every player. And this is what worked during the Australia tour, when the team was hit by a series of injuries and the absence of top players. Dravid's mantra was to provide newcomers and out-of-form players more opportunities compared to those in form. They were encouraged to take on new challenges. Under Dravid's mentorship, a series of shadow tours were organised to overseas countries, giving them much-needed experience, ready to contest on any ground in any situation. Dravid's efforts soon started to bear fruit. A runner-up finish at the Under-19 World Cup in 2016 was just the beginning, followed by India clinching the title in 2018, defeating Australia by 8 wickets. With Rajiv Kumar, Anisya Kumar for CNN News 18.
Let me go straight across to Ayaz Memon, who's a senior sports journalist. He's joining us here on Debrief today for a quick chat. Ayaz, yes, this was cricket, but this was so much more than cricket. It is not what these boys did, it's how they did it, which is getting them all the love and the warmth from across the world.
Oh, absolutely. I think when you look at the trajectory of the series and the hardship quotient for India, being bowled out for 36, it's a desperate situation. The captain's gone back, one of your major players has gone back, and then a series of injuries to the key players. Remember, in the last, maybe 7 of the players who played in the last test match were not originally, chosen in the first test. So it shows how well the bench strength has performed. And I think that this is, in my opinion, Shreya, this is the greatest ever series win that India has had. One is, it's come about overseas, where it's always difficult to win. And then look at, as the sequence of events that have, made you reach here. You lose the first match badly, come back strongly in the second, save the third. Saving that match was so important. It showed character, it showed mettle, it showed courage. And then you go into the fourth match, again you're pushed to the wall. Will they play out for a draw? Will they lose? No. They go out and win because of the positive mindset. I think this is something which is unique. We've not seen this before in Indian cricket. This has been a remarkable expression of what has transpired, I think, in the last 4 or 5 years, as you mentioned, and there are many inflection points. Rahul Dravid being made, coach of the under-19 and India A teams has such a major role to play. And then, of course, look, it can't be that you just win the series because the penny has dropped, everything has fallen into place. A lot of processes have gone to make these players value, pride their cap, the India cap that they wear, have pride in themselves, have pride in the team's performance. And when put to the wall, they showed their mettle.
I've often wondered how top-level athletes, whether on the field or on the pitch, deal with emotion. I ask you this question in the context of Mohammed Siraj. Here is a young man making his test debut. He has lost his father. He has been called a brown dog. His team is down and out. You see him weeping, tears rolling down his cheeks as the Indian anthem is being played in Sydney. And yet he goes on to do what he did.
Yeah, this is one of the extraordinary stories of this tour. And there are many, many fascinating, many, fantastic stories in this, remarkable series that we've seen. So Mohammed Siraj, look, he was not even the first choice bowler. So, he could have come back after his father passed away. It's so traumatic one can just imagine. He's a youngster, 24, 25 or whatever, he's 25 years old. Father's passed away. As soon as he lands, what frame of mind would he be in? Even if you're just as a backup bowler to Shami and, Bumrah and Umesh Yadav, you could have taken a call, or he could have taken a call, let me go back. It didn't happen. And I think that the team management has also played a role. I think they boosted his confidence and they gave him that emotional support. I think B. Arun played a big role there. He's been his coach in Hyderabad earlier. And from there, to come into the team after Umesh Yadav, Mohammad Shami is injured. Then Umesh Yadav is injured. Then Bumrah can't play the last test match. And in his third test match, he's the leader of the attack. He's running up to the bowlers and telling them what can be done, what shouldn't be done, I mean, this is mind-boggling stuff. This is out of, as I mentioned in one of my pieces, this is out of Ripley's Believe It or Not.
And this is what made this test win so much more memorable. Ayaz, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us with your quick perspective. Are we in the age of Rahane? Possibly we are. Non-aggressive, calm, composed. That was the man leading Team India as Virat Kohli was on paternity leave. This was, no doubt, Ajinkya Rahane's team. Humble, classy, decent. And he taught us, and his team taught us, how decency goes a long way.
Ajinkya. Fittingly, it means invincible. Captaincy was not meant to be his, but the mantle fell on his shoulders after Virat Kohli left Australia on paternity leave. Rahane took over as India sunk to its lowest ever total of 36 runs.
Jinx will do a tremendous job. I've said this previously as well, that I feel like this is his time to really, step up and perform strongly as an individual and then as a captain as well.
The Dombivli boy had his task cut out to both salvage self-esteem and hold the team together in a time of grave crisis. And Rahane did it in his own way. No flamboyancy, no cussing, no sledging. He won it with a smile. A smile that endeared him to both the Australians and the Indian fans back home. No one would have blamed him for losing the series. Instead, Rahane was destined to lead India to one of its greatest ever Test series victories. The smiling assassin chose the difficult path. He played to win by leading from the front in the second test at the MCG with a captain's knock of 112, levelling the series.
Ajinkya is quite prepared to sit back in a very calm and composed manner.
On the final day of the decider fourth test match, most of India was praying for rain and some good luck, leading to a draw. But not the new Captain Cool. Victory was on his mind. He set the tone by scoring a breezy 22.
I wanted to play with an intent, and if we get close to the total, then we know Rishabh and Mayank can actually get the total for us.
Rahane is calm and composed and plays to his strengths. A thinker in the Dhoni mold who marshalled his depleting resources magnificently. He not just trusted young rookie players like Pant, Gill, Siraj, Washington, Saini, Shardul and Natarajan, but backed them fully. He's not combative in the Ganguly or Kohli mold, but he is a shrewd captain, evident from his bowling changes and field settings. With his band of boys, Rahane snatched victory from an experienced Australian team that boasts of some of the best batsmen and the most lethal bowling attack in the world. He was calmness personified when Australia was raining body blows on his mates. His message to his team, bruised or battered, why be nasty when you can kill them with your smile? Rahane last led India as a stand-in captain when Australia toured in 2017. He won the match and India the series. He has an enviable scorecard as captain. With 4 wins and 1 draw, he's played 69 tests, scoring a little over 4,000 runs, averaging 42.5 with 12 centuries and a highest score of 188. After leading the team to its greatest win, Rahane did not jump in joy and throw his fist into the air. He simply lifted the Border Gavaskar trophy and quietly handed it over to the junior-most member of the squad, Natarajan, as Dhoni had done right after winning the World Cup in 2011. But before that, he knew he had to honour Nathan Lyon, who was playing his 100th test. Gentleman to a fault, that is Rahane for you. With inputs from NC Satpathy, this is Zachar Jacob, CNN News 18.
India has never lost a test under Rahane. That is saying something. A quick break here. Up next, the epic win has sent the brand value of this very young cricket team soaring. We are telling you more about that. Do stay with us. The Indian team's breach of Gabba, their epic win and their remarkable display of character has won them not just hearts across the world, but some pretty lucrative advertising deals as well. Their brand value has soared through the roof. Deepika Kaura is getting you more on that.
That's a four! The Indian players will be on the field. What a result this is!
India's historic win over Australia has had an inevitable economic impact. A rise in the brand value of the team. Endorsement fees are reported to have gone up by 30 to 50%, with talent management firms reaching out to brands. The next poster boy for the endorsement world is Gabba hero Rishabh Pant, whose fees are expected to rise 30 to 40%. He is represented by JSW Sports, the first cricketer to be managed by the firm. Pant already plays for Delhi Capitals in the IPL, jointly owned by JSW and the GMR Group. JSW Sports will manage all his commercial engagements, endorsements, social media monetization and business deals. Shubman Gill is currently without a bat sponsor and is reportedly being booed by both MRF and SIAT. RPG Enterprises chairman Harsh Goenka tweeted post the win that Shubman Gill deserves the SIAT bat again. Gill used to endorse SIAT in a 2018 deal but tied up with Yuvraj Singh's brand UV Can in the last IPL. Gill sported a blank bat in the Brisbane Test. Currently, Virat Kohli has the biggest bat deal with MRF at a reported 5 to 6 crore annually. Analysts suggest Gill could earn up to 1.5 crore. Cornerstone Ventures represents both Kohli and Gill. Other top performers like Mohammed Siraj, Washington Sundar and Shardul Thakur will soon be seen in TV endorsements, say sources. Puma India says it wants to partner with younger players, though it didn't take any names. Pepsi indicated the same. What it does mean is the rise of young, small-town players finding their feet and their rightful place through sheer hard work and getting paid for it. Deepika Kaura, CNN News 18.
It's a team that has raised the bar, and not just in cricket. A big thank you to them. Good night and goodbye.